How does your lawn look this spring? Master Gardener Volunteer George Quigley offers some tips on how to care for lawns here in the Sandhills and how Cooperative Extension can help.
I think one of the biggest problems that I have observed over 18 years of doing it is that people have a tendency to love their lawn to death. Now, there are some things you have to do, and in fact, your lawn is your highest maintenance landscape task. That's it. There is no other with more maintenance. And what I mean by loving it to death is that there are some things you have to do, like number one, you have to irrigate your lawn. In other words, you have to put water on it. You have to mow it when it requires to be mown. And you have to do other things like making sure you know what's going on in the soil so that your lawn is getting the nutrients it needs. You have to be diligent to observe problems as they happen so that the sooner you can intervene, the better off the situation will be. People have a tendency of, number one, overwatering by underwatering, over-fertilizing, over trying to amend their soil, and not mowing the lawn when it needs to be mowed. That's what I mean by loving your lawn to death. One of the first tasks you need to do before you start trying to do things in your lawn is to get what we call a soil test done. And in North Carolina, that's done for free 8 months of the year by the North Carolina Department of Agriculture. And it's easy to accomplish in Cumberland County because Cooperative Extension, which is celebrating its 100th anniversary this year, is very happy to do for you. And the technique is you can obtain a soil test kit from Cooperative Extension, and it's just easy. You just drop by Cooperative Extension on East Mountain Drive at the Crown Center and pick one up, or two up, or three up, however many you need. And it contains some sheets that are self-explanatory. They have to be completed. Collecting a sample is easily explained, and you just bring it to Cooperative Extension and they'll get it to the Department of Agriculture for you. And the soil test will reveal what the macronutrient condition of your soil is. That's the presence of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Although it'll reveal that to you, you also have to follow the instructions on what they ask you to do to make your lawn soil a little bit better so that your grass is getting the nutrients it needs. You need to mow your grass when it needs to be mown. Step one is you need to know what kind of turf grass you're propagating. And there's only 4 kinds of grass that will be healthy in Cumberland County. That's centipede grass, which is the most common and my favorite because it's the lowest maintenance. The other is Bermuda grass, which is a little higher maintenance, but it's a grass that has to have full sun. And you'll find Bermuda grass usually on athletic fields, golf courses, places where they have full sunlight available. The next most popular grass is St. Augustine grass, which will tolerate some sun. And then the last on my list of warm season grasses is the zoysia grass, which is expensive. It's a very attractive grass, but it takes a lot of maintenance. Seasonally, when you're thinking about lawn, you have to think about it as when the grass is actively growing and when the grass is not really dormant, but when it's not green. And that happens to all turf grasses. And it's cyclic, so there's no way you can intervene. It's going to happen because that's what nature says. And right now, of course, this is springtime. And this is when the grass is really coming out of the dormancy it was in over winter. And it's still brown, but it's starting to turn green. What we recommend, of course, is that this time of year is when you do the cleanup chores that you need to do. Like if you've got some bald patches in your lawn, that's when you do something to remedy them. It's also the time when you do a good vigorous raking in order to get some of the dead grass and some of the debris out of your lawn. It's the time when you start getting ready. So this is the time to do a soil test so that you're prepared to do more active things. What we recommend is that you don't really think about doing stuff like providing fertilizer to your lawn at this time of the year. This is not the time to do it. What you do now, of course, if your lawn needs it, if a soil test reveals that your pH is not correct for the type lawn grass you have, then you need to think about putting some lime down. Now, lime is a product that is not a plant nutrient. It's a product that modifies the relative pH of the soil, which is important for the health of the turf grass that you have. If you don't know what turf grass type you have, we recommend that you cut a small plug, and that's just 6 inches by 6 inches, a little piece of sod, and you bring it to Cooperative Extension in East Mountain Drive and let the master gardeners take a look at it. And master gardeners are on duty every day of the week from 9 until noon. They'll take a look at your little plug and they'll try to help you determine what type of turf grass you have, because that then dictates what your mowing habit should be, what your irrigation habit should be, and what macronutrients that are applicable for that would be. We have a tendency of number one, using too much fertilizer, too many pesticidal products, and overwatering our lawns. And that damages, of course, our water system, just the way water should be introduced into our soil and then used. And that's also a problem in our stormwater system, because if you overuse chemical products, that's the inorganic fertilizer products and your pesticidal products, they're going to wind up in our stormwater system, which means they're going to wind up in our streams and in our rivers, which is not good. So if you use the correct application of water, and that's 1 inch of water delivered at one time to your landscape or your lawn at one time. The Master Gardener program actually started in Wisconsin about 25 or 30 years ago. The late 80s, early 90s, the Cooperative Extension in Wisconsin was having a problem with having adequate horticultural agents available, so they started a training program for volunteers that could expand the capability of the horticulture agents they did have. That very quickly spread across the United States. And there is a program with horticultural agents in just about every state now. 49 of the 50 states have programs. In North Carolina, we have 100 counties and, of course, the Cherokee Reservation. So we really have 101 Cooperative Extension outlets. And about 70 of those county Cooperative Extension operations has a Master Gardener program. And right now, as near as we can tell, we've got about 4,500 master gardeners in the state of North Carolina at any one time. It's a process that has to be refreshed every year by training new people in the skills they need to provide assistance for horticultural questions and do some horticultural tasks. And that's what we call upon our master gardeners to do. They sign up for a program. We normally advertise in November to come to our classes. In fact, we're graduating this year's class in 2 weeks. So this year we finished with, and we've got almost 20 people in our class this year. But every year we train new people, and they refresh our system, because some people drift away or get reassigned. We know how transient some of our population is here in Cumberland County, and we don't mind that, because we're educating people and casting them out into the world to do what's best for our society. And you can get in touch with the Master Gardeners anytime. Our phone number is 910-321-6882. And that's at Cooperative Extension.